stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014. There's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
On 2nd and 9, Allen eluding the pressure right. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Allen to throw it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Gregory Rousseau in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 2nd and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Open man is Denzel Mims. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So the completion there from Zach Wilson, rookie out of BYU. Charles, what do you think they have to be on the lookout for defensively here, trying to slow him down?
Well, to me, it's sitting on the shorter and intermediate routes because he is an accurate thrower coming out of college. I think he was 73% his last season at BYU. So I'd give him as many looks as I could. but I'd force him to throw the ball over my head because a lot of the young quarterbacks, they want the safe completions, the easy throws early. Make him throw it deeper where he has to take a little bit more of a chance.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run it with Coleman. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On 2nd down now. It's Coleman. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 14. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the ball.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
On play action, Allen rolling to his right. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A big play here for Buffalo. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Does the big boy have the juice? Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this, we can protect this, and make sure we keep the ball.
And he's taken down inside the 30. So a pretty early 1st quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Now it's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Mecole Hardman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ed Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On second down, it's Coleman. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They go play action with Wilson. sliding out of the pocket. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles, 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the...
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Bills will extend their lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they hand off to Coleman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Braden Mann now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Allen off the play fake. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off near the 26. Then he'll take this back down inside the 20.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll drop this down to Coleman, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd down, it's Coleman, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. On 2nd down, Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Gregory Rousseau has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
And plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
Operating from the red zone now, Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Jets 6.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action. It's Wilson. He's airing it out for Williams. He rifles one that's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Bills are going to get it back here just past the 35. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And that's incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And that's complete. Albert Okwuegbunam. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. This is taken at the 23. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll begin the drive with Breida. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Yeah,
and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The former third overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on third and long. To throw, it's Allen. Forced out to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's airing it out for Williams. And that'll be incomplete. They took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Allen running right on the option. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Mike, 28. Mike, 28.
From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Wilson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. A.J. Epinesa able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this? Stephon Diggs! And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. For Stephon Diggs, he can do a lot of things, CD. He can be a possession-type receiver. He can take the top off a defense, or he can do what we saw right there, make a catch, and then turn it into a big game. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On first down, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 21 yards. And the Jets first down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Gregory Rousseau in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Under pressure, they got him again. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Ready, ready.
On third down, Coleman. Finding room at the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
So a change of possession here on the punt. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
They want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Now Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Tyler Bass now for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything. And they're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. He'll get this to Coleman. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 122 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 25.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Let's go, defense.
Allen going to keep this one himself. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to